think, though, that Saturday Night Live really created this ground for women comedians, and we saw women comics in a way that we'd never seen before?
Very tough the first year at least, because they were always fighting, particularly the women writers, for their material to get in, which generally applied to women's issues and women's. And
what do you say about that, Jane?
I don't think it applied to women's issues. I don't think that was the problem with the. I think it was. It was primarily a misogynistic environment. And in 1975, it was, again, a very different time. And women's liberation happened in the 60s, and so women were going out into the workforce and challenging men. You know, saying, I can do this job too. Well, it was not necessarily embraced by the male population, understandably so. They were threatened by the fact that there were all these women that were going out into the workplace, and they were going to have to compete with them as well as the other men.
Isn't it amazing that young women at this time don't even, they're like, what?
I know. It was, I mean, I couldn't get a credit card.
You couldn't get a credit card?
In 1975 because I was a self-employed female. So things were very different. Women were not treated equally.
So did you consider yourself and Gilda as groundbreakers? Pioneers?
No, because we were working too hard to get on the air. So, I mean, we never thought about it in a philosophical sense. I think the women writers did, because their battle was constant. And, I mean, they were working against John, who said women are just fundamentally not funny. And so you'd go to a table read, and if a woman writer had written a piece for John, he would not read it in his full voice. He would whisper it.
Really?
I don't know.
He felt, he felt as though it was his duty to sabotage pieces that were written by women.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's got a point of view.
So it was very difficult. We couldn't really think about it.
I know. So isn't this interesting? So Tina, how interesting, I mean, I never knew that before, but how interesting and really in terms of times changing and the climates being different from now you being the writer, creator of 30 Rock to the days where Jane Curtin couldn't get a credit card because...
I have really bad credit too. The times, a lot of things change. The times change, and Amy and Maya and Anna and I, we know that we are beholden to Jane and Lorraine and Gilda and to Rosie and Ann Beats and all the fought through all that nonsense. And we had, by the time I got there, our director was a woman, one of our stage managers was a woman, and so the more women that were in the room to laugh at the different pieces, then people were like, oh, okay, maybe we'll put it on.